So let's see if it starts. So we did it, guys. The Miata is alive. Alright guys, so I just changed the other fuel pump relay. Hopefully this will crank and start. Let's see how it goes. Appears to have the same issue. Let's try again. Still another problem. Still the same problem, guys. So yeah, guys, I didn't really have any success today trying to see if it was the mass airflow sensor. So I checked all my connections, tried the relays. I'm thinking the Miata probably has a combination of various issues, so I'm still gonna check when I have time. I'm gonna check the fuel pump right here in the rear of the car. I'm gonna double check that, the connections on that part. Hopefully I'll get to the problem. Again, guys, I'm not a professional mechanic. I'm just trying to learn the ropes of trying to maintain a Miata and learning how to fix it. So far it's been a fun experience. Yeah, it's a little bit hot right now, summertime, so but overall I enjoy working on the car, so hopefully I'm getting closer to solving the issue. I just tried the other relay that I picked up from the junkyard and just wanted to see if, hey, maybe it might crank and start, but that didn't work as well. So probably multiple issues with the Miata. So hopefully it's not, but from what I've been doing right now, running tests, I think it's like a mixture of multiple problems with the car. I mean, it's an old car, so you're gonna have to expect it. So I'm gonna continue doing some more research, and when I do have more time, I will be definitely bringing you guys some more vlogs about the Miata. But as promised, I was gonna bring you content. So here it is. Here's the videos that I've been trying to put together for you. Just been so busy with so much other things, and I just wanted to make sure I also put time with this car. It's been sitting for a minute, but thank you guys again for tuning in and for watching this video. I hope this will definitely give you guys some more insight to all you Miata owners out there. Hopefully, I mean, if you guys are experts out there and you guys know what the issues are, let me know. That would definitely help. Let me know in the comment section below. If you guys haven't yet, subscribe to our YouTube at Firm400. Again, thank you guys for your continued support. Sorry I've been delaying on a lot of content. Haven't had a chance to publish content on our YouTube. We've been having some technical issues. Definitely I will be getting to that very soon, and I appreciate everyone's patience and your continued support. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching, and we will see you guys in the next video. Peace. Why are you on the soft top? This guy. What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Claim here from Firm400. Welcome back to the Miata vlog. Today we are going to be replacing a few things and hopefully finishing these things today, the car will start. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to be replacing the thermostat on the car, since we've changed everything pretty much, from the radiator to the radiator hoses to spark plugs. Now we're going to be changing the thermostat, and then once we do that, we're also going to be siphoning out the old fuel from the fuel tank, and then we're going to also be replacing the fuel pump. So in our last vlog we replaced the fuel filter, so that's already done. Now we just got to finish the rest, and hopefully, like I said, once we get all of these done today, hopefully today, the car will start. So I'm going to be figuring out how that pump tool that could siphon out the fuel, I'll figure that out today and see how that works to get out the old fuel from the tank. And then, like I said, going to be replacing the thermostat. So let's get to getting all of these things done today, and hopefully the car will start. I'll show you the thermostat that I just purchased at AutoZone. Alright, so let's get to it. Alright guys, wanted to show you the thermostat that I purchased from AutoZone from our last Miata vlog. Here's the new thermostat that I got. And also I ended up getting a new gasket, so I'm going to replace the gasket as well. So I'm probably going to have to scrape whatever is remaining from the old thermostat gasket. So, but yeah, this is the thermostat here in the gasket. Let me open the thermostat to show you. So here's the new thermostat. Alright guys, so this is where your thermostat is located. It's right inside here. You're going to remove these two bolts. There's a bolt right here and a bolt right here on the bottom. And you're going to be using a 12mm to remove those bolts. So let's get to removing that, and I'll show you the thermostat that's inside right there. As you can see, there's the old gasket. So that old gasket, you see it's right there, it's sitting. So we're gonna have to replace that as well. Okay, so took out the bolts. Make sure you guys set it aside where you guys know where you can find those bolts when you put it back. Okay, so I'm gonna remove the area where the gasket is located. So here's the gasket. It just cracked literally in half because it's old. Time to replace it. So I'm gonna set that aside. As you can see, this is where the thermostat is seated, as we had just taken off the cover. It's right here, and from what I've seen, as far as researching through online, it looks like you're just gonna either be using like a set of pliers or a flathead to remove it. So let's try flathead first. So here's the old one, guys, that we just took out. It's the old thermostat. This is the new one that we're going to be replacing it with. All right, so let's install the new thermostat. Okay guys, so here is the new thermostat, and we just finished wiping down the area where the thermostat should be installed at, so it's clean. So looking at the new thermostat, guys, I see that there's an arrow right here. So I'm thinking it should be, once we seat the new thermostat, it should be facing upwards, because I remember the piece that was on the piece like this that was on the old thermostat, it was up this way. So double check, guys, when you do install your thermostat, make sure that you see how the old one was put, so that way when you put the new one on, it's going to be in the correct positions. So I'm going to be installing this new thermostat upwards, as you can see as the arrow is showing, and where the place of this part of the thermostat is, as it was on the old one, I'm going to be making sure that this will be put back the way it should be. All right, so let's install the thermostat. So I made sure that the arrow that I showed you guys earlier was facing up. So the arrow's right here and it's facing upwards. So we're good. Next, guys, we're going to be replacing the gasket as well. As you guys saw earlier, the older one, it just cracked in half as we opened it up. So let's replace that right now. All right. New one. Alright guys, next order of business is we're going to be placing back the crossover tube that goes into the airbox. So this was the part that we needed to remove from the engine so that we can have more room to work with when we're replacing the radiator. So now that that's done, we are now going to be installing it back to the car. So let's do it. So just make sure you guys put it back the way you took it out from. So sure, put back the clamp. Right guys, so at this point it looks like everything in the engine bay right here is pretty much put back. So the new radiator is installed. We got the fans in there with the new radiator. We also installed the hoses, so the hoses are in here now, and we placed back the crossover tube here that goes to the airbox. There's just one more thing that we need to do, and that's installing that one last radiator hose that's on the bottom right here. I have to get to the bottom of the car and then I'll be installing that. Once we do that, we're done with this part. Alright guys, so I am on the bottom of the car. Now I'm going to be installing the radiator hoses right here, the new ones we installed, onto the radiator. Alright guys, so we just installed everything as far as what we needed to do in the engine bay. So the radiator hoses are now installed onto the radiator. All of them are now connected, and also the new thermostat is now installed into the car. And we placed back the crossover tube to the air intake. So now everything is installed. All we need to do is just siphon out the old fuel from the tank and now install the fuel pump as well. So once we do that, hopefully the car will start. So let's get to it. Next is we're going to be siphoning out the old fuel from the fuel tank, which is located right here, right behind the driver's side. I'm going to be taking out, siphoning out the fuel and then installing the new fuel pump as well. Alright guys, so right behind the driver's side is the fuel tank that sits right here, right where that panel is, you see in the middle. So panel out. So I just covered it. It's been sitting for a while. See right here, there's the fuel. So there's some of the old fuel that's still in there. We're gonna siphon out. That pump tool that we're going to use to siphon out the fuel. So let's see how it works. See how this pump tool works, guys. I think this is going to work, guys. So this is what I'm going to do. So here's the pump, and I'm going to get one of the lines. So the line that right here that's on top of the pump where it's located, you're going to grab the line and you're going to put it down here. Get it to where the fuel's at, and then you're going to start pumping. It's gonna do some suction action inside here. Then it's gonna come out through here. I have like one of these gasoline containers that I'm gonna open up and let that pipe go in. Let the other end right here sit in. So that way this end right here is gonna go into here and the fuel is gonna be drained inside this container. Yeah, make sure you guys open it up first. You never know until you try, right? So make sure you guys take the cap off, put the hose all the way into the container, and then start pumping, and you should hear the fuel going into the top line here, going into the pump, and then it's going to siphon into the container. So alright guys, so as you can see, it's kind of hard to tell, but I managed to siphon as much of the fuel that was in the old tank. So majority of the fuel is now out, and as you can see, here's the pump that I was using, and here's the container that now has all of the fuel. So now I just need to get some new fuel, and then I need to replace I need to get the fuel pump installed, which is right here. So this is the old fuel pump right here. I'm gonna change the components right here, then get that installed, get some new fuel, and hopefully the car's gonna start. So let's do that. Here's the pump. So let me get this out. Old fuel. That's how much fuel, old fuel that was in the Miata. Alright guys, so what you guys see here, this is the fuel pump. I'm going to be changing the components right here. This is the new fuel pump here. So I'm going to be changing that, and then here's the filter. So also there's clamps and another new fuel hose here, and the other, and the rubber piece that goes right under here. What's up guys, it's day 2. Unfortunately We ran into a little issue with the fuel pump, so it's the second day. Hopefully this will be the final day where we're going to be installing the new fuel pump. I'm going to show you what happened to the fuel pump and what we thought that the issue was, but ended up figuring out that the fuel pump actually would still work and be functional when we install it. But yeah, today we actually went out and supported our friends over at ARC Movement. Shout out to the ARC fam. They had their charity car show event, and we came out to support our friends and made sure we made our donations. So shout out to everyone that came out to support ARC. They do such great work for the car community. So if you guys haven't yet, make sure you guys check out ARC Movement. Check them out right there. They're such a great group. Thank you guys again for having us, and shout out to everyone that came by and visited us at our booth. Look forward to seeing you at the next event. Shout out ARC fam. Thank you. Okay guys, so here's the new fuel pump that we installed last night. The problem that we had was the fuel pump wasn't seated properly. As you can see right here, the fuel pump would go in this way, and the problem we had with the filter right here on the bottom and this component, this fuel pump component, was that the filter was facing the other way. It was facing the other way, the opposite way. So what we did was we took the bracket off that was holding, as you can see right here. We took that bracket off and we just spun this piece facing the way it should be, and now we should be fine with installing the new fuel pump. I was just wondering if the universal kit that I got from online, this fuel pump universal kit, if it was going to work properly. But I mean, as long as it's functional and it actually could hook up, which it does, connect and hook up properly, then we shouldn't have any issues. It's just the position of the fuel pump, like I was telling you guys with the filter, it was the opposite way. So if you see right here, like I said, turn it real quick. So if you see right here, this was on this side. So that was the issue I was having. But now that I have it facing in the right way, I shouldn't be having any problems. So I'm gonna install it and I'll let you guys know what happens. So let's get to it. All right guys, so here is the fuel pump. I just like I told you guys earlier, I had switched over the universal fuel pump kit that I purchased online. Basically what I did was, originally it was facing the wrong way. It was facing this way. So what I did was I just flipped it over. I got the bracket, this bracket right here. I bent it the other way so that it can support now this end. And now it's facing the proper way, which is this way. I'm almost done. I'm just going to tighten up the hose clamps, and then I'm going to connect the fuel pump, and then I should be good. So plug this back. So we successfully installed a new fuel pump. Now we just got to place it back into the fuel tank. I'm gonna get to the fuel tank and I'll show you guys. All right guys, so here is the fuel pump, the new fuel pump that we just installed. And now we're going to place it back into the fuel tank. So hopefully it's gonna seat properly. So we successfully installed the new fuel pump into the fuel tank. Now we're gonna put the cover back on. So yeah, we're gonna head to the gas station, get some new fuel, head back, and then fill the fuel tank up with the new gas, and hopefully the car's gonna start. So let's close this off and let's get to it. Guys, so we've placed back the fuel tank cover, so everything's covered now. So we're gonna get to the gas station, get some new fuel, and then fill the car up with a new fuel, and hopefully this car's gonna start. So let's see what happens. Yeah, so we're heading to the gas station and we'll be getting some new fuel for the Miata. Alright guys, so let's see if it starts. Awesome. So we did it, guys. The Miata is alive. She's back. So yeah, guys, she's alive. She's back. I'm just gonna check for leaks. Hell yeah. Alright guys, so I just came back from doing a test drive. I couldn't film the test drive because I just wanted to make sure that the car is running good while I had both of my hands occupied shifting and testing out the car. But yeah guys, so it looks like I am having a leak from my hoses. So as you can see right here, I'm having like a leak right there. I'm gonna have to change up the hose clamps because I'm using the old ones, but you know, I thought the old ones would work well. Yeah guys, I'm going to have to change the hose clamps as I was getting leaks right there on the bottom of the radiator hoses when I came back from test driving the car. Also the fans weren't on, so I'm gonna have to check out the wiring and see if maybe a fuse gave out on the radiator cooling fan. I didn't hear or see the fans functioning properly. Also right in here I saw like a leak in that area right there on the bottom, so I have to double check in that area of the engine. I'll do some research and figure out what type of leak that is. I'm not too sure, but I will check. But it was a success. I mean, the car did start, guys. We did manage to change everything that we were supposed to get the car starting and running. The fuel pump managed to work properly, and we were able to install it, and it worked the way we wanted it to. And it was running great. I wish I could show you the footage of me running. I wish I could have filmed, but as you saw in the video earlier, the car did start, and that was awesome. So it's just unfortunate. Yeah, we're having these issues with the engine. Could be I need to double check the hoses and get some new hose clamps. That may be the issue, and then also on top of that, I also do have to change the head gasket cover. So I do know for a fact I have to change that. So that's going to be another to-do thing on our checklist. So that's gonna be another mission. So we're gonna have to take out this whole area here and to get to that, and then get out the old gasket cover and replace it with a new one that we did get from the parts store. But yeah, we poured coolant in there, got everything going. Car managed to start, but unfortunately we were getting the levels of it going to be overheating because of it, maybe the hose clamps. I have to double check, like I said. But other than that, the car did start, which is great, which is awesome. But there is more to learn, guys, so